Thank you.
Your co-hosts. We're glad you've joined us here on Channel 26 in Milpitas, and we enjoy bringing you a little bit of information about what's happening around the city of Milpitas and our local real estate market, and just keeping people up to speed, if you will.
It's been fun. It's been fun.
We enjoy it.
We enjoy it. Oh, don't forget to let folks know we air the show on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6:30 p.m., and you can watch us on the weekends, Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m.
Set your DVR.
Set the DVR.
Well, Debbie, do you mind introducing our hosts, our guests for today?
Yes, I would love to. I would love to. We have from the city of Milpitas, Mike Liu.
Yes.
I get that pronounced right?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
And Mike is a member of the IT department, and so information services. And Mike, you've come to talk a little bit about city services and what the IT department offers.
Yeah, glad to. I mean, from a IT perspective, throughout, of course, it's always constantly changing, but the last year and moving forward is rapidly changing. I mean, if we go from, file servers, and client servers, and now mobility. I mean, everyone got a mobile smartphone, so we're gearing up for that.
Right.
Oh,
we'll talk about that.
Well, let's get a chance to know a little bit about you. You've been with the city of Milpitas for how long?
Over 15 years. Time flies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, terrific.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about your background. What brought you to Milpitas? What's your education? And
Where you grew up?
Yeah, grew up. Most came here when I was really young. Immigrated here and basically lived in San Jose most of my life. Attended school locally, got master in computer science, and I started out working for United Defense. I don't know if you know FMC. They built those Bradley, the tanks and stuff down in Coleman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's a Costco there now, right?
Yes, across the street.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. But,
So where'd you get your education? You went to school here?
I go to Lyle Community College. I mean, basically just keep going to school, classes in basically all over the place, and then I go to San Jose State and then UOP for my master.
Good. So what is it that interested you in the IT field? I mean, was there something that helped formulate that interest as you were growing up, or?
Yeah, I mean, you can call it accidental. I mean, when I was going to college, I bumped into a friend, and then I go, hey, where are you working at? I go, oh, I'm building computer at this local down on Santa Clara. I go, hey, do they have openings? I go, yeah, sure, give me your resume. And that's how it started. I mean, started in the old days when we were building, big computers with DRAMs and stuff like that. I'm dating back, but yeah, it's been exciting. Never know.
And it's an ever-changing field, isn't it?
Exactly. I mean, especially now, it's just software. Before, it's more hardware, what's capability. Now, the hardware is just get to potential where you can still improve, but the potential for software to maximize that is just so great.
All right, Mike, so you've been with the city 15 years. So
Yes.
let's define your role. What specifically do you do in your capacity, and how do you serve the city?
Currently, I'm interim IS director, and oversee basically in the, as we go back, like I said, changing, we mostly serve it internal, and then we got our own websites internally where you hear a lot of, look at the federal government right now, the fiasco. But we built our site in-house, no consultant, nothing outside.
Wow.
So that's one of the feature, but our primary focus is...
So that's your staff that did that?
Yes. And our primary focus is, of course, supporting public safety. I mean, that's our core support 24/7. Because they do have a dispatching center with public safety. We support all the mobiles that are in the vehicles, so they get up to date when there's an event.
I thought maybe that was a county-wide system.
No,
It's in-house in the city.
Yeah, we support it all from the ground up.
Okay, so you take care of all the maintenance, all the upgrades, all those sort of things that need to happen to make sure that the folks who are in the field serving the public have got the tools that they need.
Correct, yes, and keeping it up to date, keeping fix, repair, and design project development, the whole works.
How large is your staff, your department?
We right now our current staff is 10 full time. We shrank over time, and the capacity grew. So it's kind of reverse, but we
Less bodies doing more work. Huh?
exactly. We were from about 23 people
Wow.
staff now to 10.
Good. So we talked a little bit about public safety and the website. How do those things really impact our local residents here in Milpitas?
I mean, talking, the chief brought it up a lot of times, the fire chief and police chief. Technology enabled them to respond. I mean, like for example, right when you get a call, right when the call come into 911 dispatch center, the information, right as soon as the information get into the system, it's out in the vehicle. They can see it. And then right on the, without, they can also, right there with the address, they are rolling to the location of the crime scene. So that, in a way, helped that. Plus, they can do a lot of the searches, inquiries, and license plate reading and all that.
I saw that actually on the news last night. It was on the local news where I think it was maybe in Oakland or San Francisco that they have a scanner in the car that they look at the license plate and then check to immediately see if it's a stolen vehicle.
Yes, that's part of our service too that we provide.
Wow,
so
I didn't know that.
I mean, overall, we did a count of categories. We have over 60 applications, big and small, from financial to public safety to, the whole gamut.
Well, good. Well, also the website, I know, is a resource for our local citizens. What sort of things can folks do, or does the website help enable our citizens to do?
I'm glad, yeah. I mean, most of the website and all the services, we develop in-house. That's one of our primary strategy. But one of the things, over time we develop, for example, like last year, the building department came up with, they had a situation where they want the developer to submit big files, like drawings or plans and stuff like that. And their, of course, funding was limited. So they came to us and say, hey, what solution can we offer? Well, we're working closely with building and fire prevention and different departments within the city, develop the app where now people can actually submit plans, and then it's all digital. The good thing about that is you don't no longer need it to send it outside to get scanned, to come back in, and all that. So we streamlined that process a little bit.
Super. But let's talk about, there's a recent article in the Milpitas Post, and it says city to release My Milpitas mobile app
Yes.
Next month. So I'm assuming that's been launched?
Yes.
Let's
yes.
talk about that.
Yeah, we're actually pretty proud and excited about that. Our staff built it all in-house, like I mentioned earlier. We released that app on the September 26th, right on time as promised to our news, which was a challenge because a lot of times you submit it to the App Store and pending on approval and stuff, which a lot of times you don't control the date. But we managed to get that released right on time, 26. Downloads were pretty high on the first couple of days. It's since narrowed down, but constant. You always have some downloads every day. We are able to monitor that. Plus, we're now getting tickets from residents that are using their smartphones, their iPad to submit tickets, and then in the back end, there's workflows to our public works and stuff that take care of the issues.
So if you have like a downed tree or a pothole or what, you could take a picture of that and send that in for repair? Or?
Yes, and one of the nice thing about this, a lot of time people go, oh, where am I? What address am I at? The beauty of this app is it automatically knows where you are.
Oh, wow.
It sends us those GPS locations, so when Public Works gets it, they're able to know exact location.
What
and
a nice feature.
With Google Maps and our GIS combining, we can sometimes look at the street view right away and say, hey, where am I? What's the situation?
Good. So that it helps, again, streamline that work so that folks in Public Works aren't out looking for those problems. They can go directly there and get right to work on that issue.
Correct.
That's
yes,
exciting.
Yes.
Terrific. Well, let's talk a little bit about the Telecommunications Commission. Tell us a little bit about them. What do they do for the city?
Yeah, we meet once a month on a Monday, the third Monday of the month, and basically going over strategizing what our current process and what are we doing, and kind of looking forward to see how do we situate the city to serve the public and internal staff to better serve the public.
And those are volunteers within the city that volunteer to serve on the commission?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Are there currently any openings that we could plug if anybody's out there interested in joining and being part of the telecommission?
Yeah, the staff is pretty full, but if there's an opening, our website have those information.
Go to the
and they
website
can go.
and check
But
it out.
currently, I don't believe that there's any opening.
Okay. Actually, I wanted to ask you this. I'm curious. I was around when the City Hall opened. I guess it was 2001, 2002. So anyway, brand new City Hall.
Yeah.
We were the most state-of-the-art. I think,
Correct.
in fact, I believe there was an article in some statewide magazine that talked about how state-of-the-art our technology was. Do you feel that we're still current with our technology?
Good question. Good things you asked. I mean, of course, times, with every technology, it gets outdated.
Correct.
But we foresee that.
We're still ahead of the curveball, do you think?
Yes, we actually last year, just around August, September timeframe, we replaced our whole technology base to previously it was analog, now it's all digital. So we're able to broadcast everything digital, high res, 1080. So yeah.
Terrific.
So we're constantly upgrading then,
Yeah, I mean,
best that we can.
correct.
With
And
the
all-
funds that we have.
All meeting rooms are computerized. You can bring, like a lot of times there's meeting, people bring their laptops. They don't have to worry about hookup. It's all there. It's all ready to go.
Okay, great.
Terrific. So you're busy trying to keep up with all the changes in technology. What other sort of things do you do in-house? You talked about some of the support you provide perhaps for city staff.
We, of course, want to get paid, the financial data. We support the financial system also. So that's, public safety is our core support. And then, you got finance department. The building is very busy. Now recently we got planning, and we recently hired a GIS manager. He's a great, going around providing a lot of the services that automate a lot of the mappings, a lot of the technology.
For those of us who don't know, what is GIS?
It's
I'm glad you asked that.
it's map-based. Everyone knows Google Maps.
Okay.
So it's kind of using maps. I met a gentleman once to say maps or GIS, it's everything, it's everywhere.
Okay.
And first you go, what? But then you really think about it, yes, everything has location base, and that's what we use. Every houses, everything has location base. Even our map, our new My Milpitas app, location base. So we use maps a lot. And
Well, that ties into real estate, because real estate is location,
That's
location,
right.
location. So you're on the right show.
I'm glad I got something
I am
in
so
there.
glad we had you here. So, Todd, were you through at that point?
Yeah,
Or really
yeah.
good? Okay, I'm curious. Todd and I always talk about future objectives and goals. So what do you see for your department, say, for the next 2 to 5 years, 2 to 3 years? What do you hope to accomplish?
I've been in the technology field a long time, not just here, but prior to work in technologies. And I've seen a lot of changes over time. One of the things that I've seen over time is costs of software keep continually rising. One of the things with the mobile apps and some of the apps that we develop in-house, we use open source. Meaning the software, everything, there's no cost to it. Of course, there's a little thing about that because, there's no cost, but there's no support. So in-house, we have to develop the skill set to develop and support that, because
Okay.
there's nobody to call at midnight when something goes down, because you have to know that intimately to support it.
Good. Well, how does being based here in the heart of Silicon Valley impact your job? I mean, is there additional pressure to stay on the cutting edge because of where we are, or does it make it easier because the resources are
That's a great
local?
question.
That's a good question. Both. I think being here, a lot of the companies that come and try to offer services to us, they're local. We can call them. I got a couple of examples where you call them and they just, hey, we'll take our staff engineer down to your place and we'll meet, see what's going on firsthand. So that's one of the nice part. Of course, with the pressure of being, hey, everybody's here, everybody seems to have an engineering degree, a software background, you kind of try to stay on the trend, keep up with what Apple's releasing, and kind of use some of those knowledge and transfer that into how we can provide for the resident and the staff here.
All right, well, we did talk about the telecommunications and that pool of volunteers from the residents that serve on that commission. Is there any other ways that the community might get involved in, what you offer as far as your IT, or any other suggestions for those folks that are looking and watching the show?
Yeah, I think telecom is one of the good way. They kind of guide us and give us direction in terms of what, and the good thing about that is you get multiple backgrounds from the volunteers from different technology base. Technology is huge. We can't sum it up into technology one word, but it's a vast field. The other way is to our website and to our mobile app that we are constantly coming out with. We're going to soon release. You can pay your bill just 2 clicks, pretty much. So that's one of the way that, hey, our website's open. We respond to all questions, if not, depending on when, but within 2 days. So one of the things is like, hey, if you see something that you need or want, I think we can come up with a solution.
Well, great. Well, Mike, it's been a pleasure, and
Yes.
I want to thank you. I've learned a lot today, and I'm just impressed with how responsive you and your department are to the needs of our community, making it easier for folks to navigate City Hall, to navigate our community.
Cross that bridge between City Hall and the outside world with the residents.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and that responsiveness is fabulous.
Yeah.
It's great to have that attitude.
Yeah, and to close it up, I mean, with the technology, some of the questions that you got brought up, I see it as, you got, in the old days, we have so many cars, but you need the road or the infrastructure to go where. Nowadays, with mobility, all the smartphones, everybody you ask, or at least I think the percentage is so high that, so I envision those as vehicle, but you need some way in between for that vehicle to come to City Hall or to anywhere. So that's what software or our department is building that roadway.
That's obvious. Your department plays a huge role in the success of our city and keeping everything running smooth. So, Mike, I want to thank you very much. Todd and I want to thank you. And we have a Valley Homes on TV T-shirt to give you. So
thank you.
You have a memory of your TV interview here for us.
All right,
And
thank you.
we want to thank you for your time and sharing all your knowledge with the residents of Milpitas.
Thanks for helping me.
Great, thank you.
Think you found every hazard out here today? Think again. The spot you missed could be a killer. That spot on your skin could be skin cancer. If you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills 1 person every hour. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
We all share a common journey. We wanted to serve our country and protect the things we love. We were ready to face any mission and help those in need. But for some of us, coming home was more of a challenge than we expected. In the service, we had each other's backs. But as veterans, it can sometimes feel like we're all alone.
At the Veterans Crisis Line, we understand what you're going through, and we can help. It's your call.
Through the years, trends and styles may come and go. but the important things remain the same. Generation after generation, consistently there, creating moments and memories to last a lifetime. Like a true friend, the national parks have always been there for you, and now you can be there for them. Support the National Park Foundation and help protect America's treasured places.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Valley Homes on TV. I'm Debbie Giordano, along with Todd Flesner, our local mortgage broker. And we're doing an October wrap-up. What we like to do is talk about what happened in the month of October and maybe give a glimpse of what the future of the market looks like. There's so much talk. I won't go into specifics, but I just had gotten quite a few articles. But I think my home is worth much more. And what that is a lot of times the sellers get wrapped up into a situation where they hear about multiple offers. We were just talking offline about all the cash deals.
Right.
And sellers think that their home is worth a lot more than it really is, but you really don't want to overprice it in this market. And San Jose Mercury had a great article October 8th about best foot forward. They talked about home preparation. So not only is pricing your home a key, you have to be right at market, but also that home preparation is extremely, extremely important. And lastly, I think another interesting article that came out last week in San Jose Mercury is about the home makes the grade. And what they're talking about is homes that are within particular school districts. And our school districts in Milpitas have really risen high, and it's making a lot of the homes in Milpitas more valuable, becoming a great place to live.
Well, I know a lot of the measures that folks look at, the scoring, the testing, and those sort of things, Milpitas is ranking very, very well.
They are. So you attended a seminar, or you got some information you can bring back to us.
I just came back from the National Association of Mortgage Brokers, their annual meeting, and we had the opportunity for one of the sessions to have Lawrence Yu, who is the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors.
I think he writes in the Realtor magazine. See his.
Well, he does also. He does that. He testifies on Capitol Hill.
Oh, super.
He is very, very involved in terms of what's happening with real estate and its impact and its contribution to our national economy.
So, what does Lawrence have to say?
Well, here we are. We're heading into 2014 here shortly, and he was taking a look at kind of what the market is currently and where we may be headed. Some of these things we've been talking about here locally, but these are also trends that we're seeing played out on a national scale. In terms of home inventory, we're actually at about a 13-year low in terms of inventory.
I knew it was low, but I didn't know it was that low.
Yeah, in terms of homes available for sale. And so we have that tight shortage, and we see that here manifested in things like multiple offers and all cash offers and some of those sort of things. And he, looking into 2014, sees that to be a continuing trend, that inventory is going to remain relatively tight in relation to demand.
Okay.
And so when he projects it out and takes a look at what that might have in terms of impact on home prices, he sees that continuing to have some upward pressure on home prices, and it's anywhere from about 5 to 8% appreciation in home values
For 2014.
For 2014.
Okay, and is that countrywide?
That's a national
average, and we've been seeing a higher rate of appreciation here locally due to our uptick in our economy.
That's true, and I think in 2013 on the national level we saw a little bit higher growth nationally as well.
Right.
So that's the rate of appreciation is going to probably taper off a little bit, but it's going to probably likely to continue to be there because of inventory issues and demand. Along with that, then. You talked a little bit about the shadow inventory, and we've talked about that on the show as well. Those properties that banks have taken back, that they've held on to, and then are bringing back into the market as REO, as real estate owned by a bank. And particularly here in California, you talked about that not being as much of a factor in our local California market. That
Because less properties are underwater now with the rate of appreciation.
That's correct. And a lot of those properties have already come back into market.
And some have been able to refinance, I guess, and keep their homes. Which
Exactly.
you've seen that.
I've seen a lot of that these days with folks whose property values are back, and we're able to really now come in and help them, particularly with the lower interest rates,
Right.
save some money.
Right.
So yes, that's been very good both on the sales end but also on the refinance end. About 30% of the offers have been all cash on a national basis this last year. Some of that's been investors and others looking to take advantage of where the market has been, but that's had an impact again on that demand part of the equation. In terms of mortgage rates, he sees a market where mortgage rates are going to move up just a little bit incrementally probably this next year. We're not at our absolute lowest, but still historically very low. Today we're in the very low 4s.
Right. We've seen a bounce downward, I think, due to the government shutdown and some of those economic signals that went out. But so
Correct.
It did take a dip.
It did, and a lot of that was also tied to Federal Reserve policy. And it looks like the Feds can continue their quantitative easing program here into the foreseeable future, but it's likely that's going to unwind, and that'll have an effect in supply and demand for mortgage-backed securities, and likely to see interest rates go up perhaps 1% or so over the course of the next year. So, taking those things into account, the opportunity still is great for folks in real estate, either to look to refinance with the low rates or the affordability index in terms of low rates and getting in before housing prices continue to go up.
Great. Well, I had a couple open houses this past weekend, and they were heavily trafficked, so buyers are plentiful out looking
and I
for
see
property.
you've got the numbers here.
Real
that,
quick,
that
Ellen's
reflect
going
our
to
current-
shut us down here in 1 second, so let's look at September 2012. We were at $643,000 for an average price in Milpitas single family, and $587 for a medium price. That has now shifted and changed to $707,000 for an average price and $649,000 for an average price. Almost, $75,000. 75 to 100 grand is what I've seen as a real increase over the year, really over the last 12 months. And for the condominium market for September 2012, we have $397,000 for an average price and $435,000 for a medium price. That has shifted to $505,000 for an average price and $501,000 for a medium price. So again, close to another 100 grand bump. So it's exciting. I think going into 2014, we've got some great market conditions, and we'll see what happens with the real estate pricing at that time.
Well, in terms of motivation for people putting their homes on the market, we're much more into more of a normal market, I guess you'd say, with that. The shadow inventory, the REOs are not impacting things to the extent that they were.
So we'll turn off now for Valley Homes on TV. We're looking forward. We have a show in a couple weeks. George Perez with the Milpitas Fire Department is going to talk about the local Toys for Tots program that the firefighters are doing to collect toys, and the holidays are coming. So we'll see George, and then we'll all come back and see you in January of 2014.
Terrific. Thanks.
Thanks.